Anyway, let's kick off with the first round. So now let's see if we can get straight into the action for a change. It normally takes me a little bit to get warmed up, but we're going to dive immediately in, and I'll put the bishop here. Probably bishop b4 is a better move, but this position I know vastly. I know probably this position better than anyone in the world, and the whole point of this line is to play this move. And once you get this move in, you're laughing. Now already I quite like my position. Let's watch out for this kind of check, winning a pawn. So I'll bring the knight out and we swing the queen over here. And I always like playing this move against that. His bishop is very bad. We've got some initiative on the king side, and he's also got maybe some potential problems here. So the opening has gone very, very well. Someone saying Gormali is very good. Yeah, Gormali is bloody good. He's a really bloody good chess player. I must admit, I mean, when I knew Danny. I lived with him when I was a lot younger, and I knew him very well. We used to go to tournaments together, and I always thought he's a real talent, Danny, as in really could have been a 2600 plus player, but his nerves unfortunately let him down a little bit. How's the sync now, Aldo? Has that got better? Because you know what I'm like. I'm perfectionist, and when things have gone a bit wrong, then I'm like, I'm gonna have to sort it out. Okay, so I mean, how's this turning out? Now this pawn seems a little bit weak. How's he going to defend it? For example, if I put the bishop here, because maybe he can't defend these two weaknesses in the position. Looks very tough to do that, so might be grabbing a pawn here. Ugo or whatever, saying just yeah, I've got my, if you follow me on Twitter and YouTube, on my YouTube channel is a Twitter link to my Twitter. My last post is about a podcast I did, an interview with an old friend of mine, actually, Ben Johnson, and well, I mean, it's the state of English chess is pretty bad. I generally think, and I'm quite honest in my views. But I think if you want to know more about some of my history and views, then that podcast is out there. So I'm glad you liked it. Thank you very much, Ugo or whatever. I don't know why I'm saying both your names wrong when they are spelt the same. But so far this is going well. This is like quite a smooth Dutch, but not really sure what he's going to do now. He probably has to give this one up because he doesn't want to lose g3 as well. But this has been like clockwork Dutch, as I often get. I often get very good positions from the Dutch opening, and I'm probably the world's leading expert in this, to be fair. The classical Dutch, definitely, because I'm like the only lunatic and the only grandmaster lunatic who plays it. So he has to do this, yeah, and I think we'll just grab this one. And well, I mean, I don't need to do anything drastic. Let's get this in. Audio slightly ahead, only a frame or two. Okay, I'm going to try changing it at some point. Does this achieve anything, or can we take here? I think we get an ending. Maybe I can take here with some ideas of pulling off an attack here, or just simply well, let's not do that. Let's think about this move a little bit. Swapping queens is probably very good, but I kind of think I should even be keeping the queens on the board in this position, because his king looks a little bit more exposed to me. And let's get the rook down into that aggressive square. And I love playing with all my pieces. Okay, I'm gonna change. Okay, I'm not going to change it yet. So how can I get the bishop in? Well, okay. Is it wise to move my king away? Many ways I can probably do this. How about this one? Oh, I've got to watch out for some bishop d5. I don't want to fall for that, do I? But maybe this is all right. Followed by queen takes c3. Slightly risky way of doing it. Okay, let's go for it. And you can go bishop d5 now, actually, which I missed. So that was a silly move. You can play here. I'm still doing well because I can just pick up the pawns. He's played it. He's found this good move, and this has made it slightly more tricky than I would have wanted, as I usually do, and a little lack of concentration. But his king's still very weak, and I'm what, 2 pawns up here, so I'm still going to have to play very badly to lose this. And I'm very good at tempting fate, but this is probably a killer move, actually, because everything's dropping. It's always a good idea in these Dutch positions just to put the king on h8. If you're doing well, then putting the king on h8 it is such a sensible move to play, because it often just gets out of control. You know, there's often some tactical check, and I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna take the queens off, because we don't want any accidents. And this, I'm very happy to make exchanges because, well, I mean, how many pawns up am I? A bloody lot of pawns. And let's just queen these 2 pawns. We don't even need this one. Let's just give that one up. 2 connected passed pawns. I'll cut his king off, and they slowly march up the board. And we can just play this nice and slowly. You've got a check or 2, but nothing to worry about. The king will come forwards, and the pawns slowly come forwards. The king comes forwards. You kind of get the drift here. Look at this little cheap shot, worth a punt, yeah. I hope he resigns after this one. I hope he resigns after this one. Okay, there we go.